Ahead on NewsWatch, President Trump and his team take the stage at CPAC, why he's quickly becoming the standard bearer for the conservative cause. Plus, infiltrated the heart and soul of the Democratic Party is at stake. We'll show you which group is working hard to capture it. And it is killing more and more middle-aged women in the heartland of America. Why are so many women getting hooked on this deadly addiction? And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Big names for the Trump administration addressed the Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, Thursday. Two of Trump's closest advisors shared a stage, despite rumors of division between the two. And the vice president reassured the crowd Obamacare's nightmare is almost over. Caitlin Burke has much more.
President Pence rallied conservatives around President Trump's agenda Thursday night, speaking on the first day of the CPAC conference.
President Trump is a man of his word, and we're keeping the promises he made to the American people. Over at the White House, I like to say we're in the promise-keeping business these days.
Pence bashed the Democratic Party for making promises to the American people that they couldn't keep. And he said it's time to prove again that, quote, our answers are the right answers.
A strong military, more jobs, less taxes, respect for the Constitution and the values that have made America great, and a deep and abiding faith in the goodness of the American people.
And even though former House Speaker John Boehner said Thursday that Republicans wouldn't repeal Obamacare, but simply fix it, Pence said the GOP would indeed get rid of the health care law.
President Donald Trump is leading the fight to repeal and replace Obamacare. And let me assure you, America's Obamacare nightmare is about to end. You know, despite the best efforts of liberal activists at town halls around the country, the American people know better. Obamacare has failed, and Obamacare must go.
Other key members of the Trump White House spoke to the conservative crowd, including top advisors Steve Bannon and Reince Priebus, with Bannon saying that battles between the media and the administration were far from over.
It's not only not going to get better, it's going to get worse every day in the media. And here's why. But by the way, the internal logic makes sense. They're corporatist, globalist media that are adamantly opposed to an economic nationalist agenda like Donald Trump has.
Bannon stressed that the Trump administration would continue to fight, and he encouraged the audience to hold the president's team accountable for delivering on the promises it's made. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.
President Trump's decision to reverse President Obama's transgender directive could impact Christian healthcare providers. The government has until next week to appeal a federal judge's decision that would force doctors and hospitals to facilitate gender transitions regardless of religious beliefs. Meanwhile, evangelicals, along with conservative and family groups, are celebrating Trump's decision to reverse the order. Ryan Anderson with the Heritage Foundation praised the move. He said the Trump administration is doing the right thing in correcting Obama's unlawful overreach, which imposed a one-sided solution on all 50 states. Supporters of former presidential candidate Bernie Sanders are working to take over the Democratic Party from the ground up. Right now, the Democrats are trying to find their way as the clear minority party, and they hope to reconnect with American voters before the 2018 midterm elections. But as John Jessup reports, they must first choose who will lead them out of the political wilderness.
With marches, demonstrations, and town hall protests,
I'm going to lose my husband.
Democrats project a united opposition to President Trump. But dig a little deeper, and it's easy to find separation.
Different approaches are on clear display as the party tries to figure out who will lead the Democratic National Committee as the next chairman.
While 8 candidates want the job, 2 names top the list heading into the weekend election: former Obama Labor Secretary Tom Perez and Minnesota Congressman Keith Ellison. Both men talk tough about taking on the president and his policies.
Donald Trump has already done a number of things which legitimately raise the question of impeachment.
We have seen from the get-go that this person wants to turn the clock back, and the Democratic Party needs to take the fight to Donald Trump. When we lead with our values, when we lead with our conviction, that's how we succeed.
Some observers say the race between these two resembles the bitter primary between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. Perez enjoys the establishment support from Clintonites, and Ellison has the backing of progressives. Elections expert Nathan Gonzalez says this is not uncommon for the losing party, telling CBN News the DNC fight is a broader fight for the heart and soul of the Democratic Party. When a party doesn't control the White House, there is no clear leader. This is just one area where the fight is playing out. The battle even caught the attention of President Trump, who tweeted, "One thing I will say about Representative Keith Ellison in his fight to lead the DNC is that he was the one who predicted early that I would win." Roland Martin, host of News One Now, told CBN News he believes Democrats will ultimately come together for one reason.
You cannot like Perez, you cannot like Ellison, you cannot like Harrison, you cannot like any of the candidates, but you probably hate Trump more. So the bottom line is a hatred for Trump will bring together any divided faction.
But the question is, will that be enough to win the 2018 midterm elections and beyond? John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.
Meanwhile, Congressman Keith Ellison is being described by some as a radical. The National Review reports Ellison was once an outspoken defender of the anti-Semitic Nation of Islam. And the review says he has ties to several groups that were spawned from the Muslim Brotherhood, a group which says, quote, "The Quran is the Constitution and jihad is our way." The French government has decided to criminalize pro-life websites. The European Center for Law and Justice says the law prohibits any information on abortion, even if true, that could cause a moral and psychological effect on any person who is looking into abortion. The law bans the publication of statistics on medical consequences of abortion or testimonies of women who regretted their abortion and pictures of aborted fetuses. Violators would face up to 2 years in prison and a fine up to $37,000. The director of the European Center for Law and Justice said the law, quote, may prohibit the church from publishing its position on abortion. If you teach that it is a sin, then teaching itself would be sufficient for prosecution. Lawmakers in Kentucky are working on passing a bill that would create elective Bible literacy courses in public schools. The measure passed the House Thursday. The bill would require the State Board of Education to establish policies for local school boards that choose to offer elective social studies courses on the Hebrew text and New Testament. The bill's opponent said it intrudes on the principles separating church and state by promoting one faith. After more than 85 years in business, Family Christian stores will be closing their doors. Family Christian employed more than 3,000 people in more than 240 stores across 36 states. According to Christianity Today, changing consumer behavior and declining sales is the reason they're shutting down. More than 2 years ago, the company did go bankrupt. And still to come, an alarming increase in deaths among middle-aged white women living in America's heartland. So, what is the culprit? We've got the answer next. The lifespan of people here in the United States had been increasing for years, getting close to 79 years of age. But last year, that number dropped. For the first time in more than 2 decades, one major reason, though, can be traced to what's happening in the countryside of America. Lori Johnson brings us the story.
America's heartland needs a lifeline. Instead of falling, death rates are actually rising, especially for middle-aged white women. Doctors point to obesity, smoking, and other causes.
Here in small-town America, folks are dealing with an alarming increase in deaths from accidental opioid overdoses from things like painkillers and heroin. Also, alcohol-related deaths and suicide.
In recent years, death rates rose a reported 30% among middle-aged white females living in rural areas. Elaine Vance grew up in a small coal mining town. She almost became one of those statistics.
I remember doing the first time I ever done heroin. I remember thinking, this might kill me. I may die. And then the longer I was in active addiction, I remember mixing it up in the spoon and just saying, I hope this kills me. I'm ready to die.
Hers is an unfortunate storyline. It begins with taking prescription pain medication and developing an addiction that ultimately leads to heroin.
What made you do the switch over?
The heroin was cheaper, for one thing. It was more powerful. You know, over time, you build up a tolerance.
At first, getting high helped escape painful emotions, in Elaine's case, from divorce and poverty. Then she couldn't stop.
It consumed my every thought. It dictated my every action.
Here in rural America, many opioid addictions begin rather innocently, starting with an injury from a car crash or an on-the-job accident where painkillers are prescribed.
Lynn Eldridge has treated addicts in rural West Virginia for more than 20 years. She says opioid abuse has exploded like nothing she's ever seen.
They may get hurt. They are put on a pain pill. It's OxyContin or it's hydrocodone, whatever it might be. And as they go through the prescribed usage of the drug, sometimes they'll say, I felt a little better when I was taking it. And then my neighbor had some left over and I decided to take hers. And then when that got difficult to get, I was introduced to somebody who had heroin.
Compared to the city, buying, selling, and even taking drugs in the country, well, that's easy.
You don't have to go on a street corner. You don't have to go into the shopping mall. You just go out onto a back road because there's nobody around to see you.
Despite the growing death toll, people can break free.
Detox, because you need to be detoxed professionally in a medical setting so that it can be handled in a safe way. One of the newest and best, it's a game-changing medication is Vivitrol. It's an injection that is received in the doctor's office, and it will take away the craving, and they get their life back.
While Elaine credits her recovery to detox and a 12-step program, she gives most of her victory to God.
I started getting to know Jesus, and I realized that the same power that rose him from the grave is what fights addiction, not me. I can't beat it. And once I realized that was the power fighting for me, I knew I was never, ever going back.
Elaine went to One Voice, a Christian outreach that offers addicts treatment referrals, food, clothing, friendship, and most importantly, the gospel.
God gives you an opportunity to choose life or choose death. And that's what we want to tell them. So we get to brag on God and tell them that if they want to see a difference in their life, that's really the only true way to do this.
That means a lot of prayer.
Yes, you light our path, God. You are our light in a dark world. Father, help us to be that light. Help us to be strong in you.
I needed their help. I needed their mentorship. I needed their prayers. I needed their suggestions and their advice. And most of all, I needed their love. And I received all that from them. And so now I just try to give that back. I try to be that person for the next me.
You don't have to be a former addict or even a trained professional to fight the war on drugs.
You can pray. You can also open up your church classrooms to do 12 steps. You can offer a day of testimony that the voices of recovery, those that have chosen to recover and do well, come and talk. Share their stories, give hope to the others.
So while substance abuse cuts short the lives of far too many, particularly in America's heartland, it's not a lost cause. Awareness and treatment, powered by the Spirit of God, are making a positive difference. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Up next, Christian rock in China will show you how the next generation of Chinese Christians are reaching their culture for Christ. Young American Christians are familiar with big bands like Toby Mac and Hillsong. Less familiar, though, is a band called Rainbow. But halfway around the world, these Christian musicians are beginning to reach China with the gospel. Meng Fai Li has more.
Chinese millennials love rock and roll music. It's not new to China, but rock is growing in popularity among young Chinese. Uncle Bing is the lead singer of Rainbow, a rock band formed in 2012. Few people knew about the group at that time, but a national talent show rocketed them to stardom.
When I created the band, I shared the ideas with a few friends. They started to look for other talents to make the band more special. Today, our members have taken the band to a new level. It's beyond what I ever imagined.
Traveling from city to city, each band member experienced many difficult and lonely nights, away from family and friends. Then they found someone special.
Money used to keep me busy, and I barely had time for anything else. Exhaustion and traveling were part of my life. Until I found Jesus, everything changed for all of us. This is what glued us together.
Eventually, it inspired them to change their music to contemporary Christian rock. They're now using their music to share Christ's love with young Chinese rock fans.
There are many forms to show passion to Jesus. Could be through literature or art, even music. We want young people today to experience something new and trendy about God.
Their fans are attracted to the new music style unknown to most Chinese.
I am so glad their music is different. It's like they are telling many stories and hear all those miracles. This is something I've never experienced before.
While secular rock music is popular, Rainbow believes Christian rock can win many followers. The challenge is how to share biblical stories in their music.
How would you tell the story of David and Goliath through music? As a Christian band, we need to use some type of creative ways to show what we're singing for and what we're living for. The word love is being distorted today by secular music. Christian music can change this.
Xu Li has been with the band since the beginning and wrote some of their songs. As a new Christian, she's very proud of what they've accomplished. Most importantly, she's grateful God has given her more than she imagined.
Some of the words from our songs are from our prayers. They are not fancy. I feel God could hear our prayers even when we are singing. We encourage our fans to do the same. God listens to us all the time.
Their humble attitude encouraged one another.
We are not perfect. We just want to follow God. Wherever He leads us, we'll be there.
Today, Rainbow is traveling nationwide in China. They're trusting God for bigger success, and they're praying their music can reach more Chinese fans.
We won't stop. Our lives belong to God. Our talents belong to God. Our music is from God.
Meng Fei Li, CBN News.
If you're looking for some good entertainment this weekend, we've got your family-friendly movie reviews right here. Our friends at Plugged In Online bring us a review of the film Lion. Take a look.
Let's start with where you're from.
Calcutta.
Which part?
I'm adopted. I'm not really Indian.
This week at Plugged In, we thought we'd take a quick look at an Academy Award-nominated film that's still in theaters, but that you may not know much about.
इधर जा मत, मैं कल का काम निपट के आ जाऊंगा.
Guddu? The movie Lion tells the story of Saru, a young man who was separated from his family as a very small boy in India, and then adopted by an Australian couple.
I have to find my way back home.
A quarter century later, he relies on Google Earth and his undying determination to chart a course back to the family he lost so long ago. Of course, that journey is far more difficult than I just made it sound. Saru was all of 5 years old when a chain of tragic circumstances left him alone 1,000 miles from his remote and tiny village. Now, as an adult, he has to piece his past back together one step at a time in a country with a population of more than 1.2 billion people.
Every day my real brother screams my name.
This is a gripping, moving, inspiring story that's high in heart and relatively low in content issues. There are some sensual moments here and some scenes of troubling family relationships, but the film talks of the joys of a family connection and lauds the beauty and rewards of adoption. So I'm giving Lion 3.5 accidental late-night train rides out of 5 for family friendliness. For the full review, check out PluggedIn.com. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Cheryl Wilhelmy for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
It is time for your Friday Faithful, and know this, God is faithful. I'm reminded of some words I often hear from folks in church. I am not what I want to be or where I want to be, but I thank God I am not what or where I used to be. That is quite significant, and likely it is the case for us all. With that word, continue to contend for the faith and make this a fabulous Friday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. We always love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you come Monday.